Welcome to the Edge. This is from a rainy day in good old Sarasota, overlooking a lake out there and the rain and what have you. And a rainy day in Jacksonville, Florida, it looks like, because the Republican convention has been canceled, announced by Donald Trump today. It's a ball game that's being played in terms of a fear of a high death rate. Many Republicans have announced weeks ago that they were not going to be there. And I suspect that number has been increasing by the moment for this announcement to happen. The fear running through the Republican Party right now is going to the bone, right to the bone. Not of Biden, of Trump himself. When he invaded Portland, Oregon, he broke the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, and the 10th Amendment. The First Amendment is right of assembly. Fourth Amendment's holding people from their rightful place, basically kidnapping people. And the Fifth, I'm not recalling well the Fifth, but in any event, it all goes to suppression of people's rights. And he's violated those with this order, and he's pretending or saying he's going to go next to Chicago and or Philadelphia. The word is that the DA of Philadelphia, for one, is announcing that he's going to the courts in Pennsylvania to prevent any kind of coming forward of these variety of people, from the border guards who caged people there. I'm sure they were thinking of caging some of the people in the protests. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. They sure as hell were beating on people. One Navy veteran was 6'5", was beat on with rods, 4 foot long, in Portland. So the trust in the government is getting pretty shaky, at least in the way the government's being run right now. The whole ballgame is about, do you trust this government to continue to function in the manner that it's been continued to be run by this leadership? And this is where things are getting shaky. People are pulling away. Michael Cohen just got released from jail, and the Supreme Court said, I think this is in New Jersey, that it was retaliation on the part of the Attorney General, Bill Barr, going after him and re-jailing him to prevent him from dealing with his book and book sales, to tell all that he knew about Donald Trump, the 5 or 6 or 7 checks that were written to him to do the dirty work for Donald Trump. Trump is getting to a point where he's getting into a corner in his own back of his own supporters, the Republican Party. They're getting in doubt. The doubts are growing. The fears are growing. And if we're going to see things develop, it's in these ways. Things start falling apart, they get canceled. It's better to cancel something than have a big die-off or an embarrassing, nobody shows up convention. I think the latter. So this is where this ball game is being played right now. And, you know, some people are hoping and hoping and hoping they can smear his opponent and maybe somehow save poor Donald Trump. But I think poor Donald Trump is really where we are at today. And the economy is in a mess, not all his fault, but his handling of the virus is making the economy worse. And the uncertainty about people getting their checks for the unemployment in the amount that they had before is growing. And the Republican Party is holding their ground about doing what they need to do. Ted Cruz was asked, would he support another check support for the people in terms of keeping their houses, keeping their mortgages, keeping their rents going? He says, hell no. I mean, hell no. That's a Republican senator from Texas, where Texas, Biden is leading Trump right now. That means Cruz himself, who barely won his last election, is in trouble. So state after state, county after county, city after city is being pressured in different ways. The cities are being pressured with the threat of Donald Trump invading them through the use of these various troops, from the Department of Health and Services, DHS, to the Border Control, to the FEMA people, to ICE, all these different agencies were used, 200 so-called soldiers without identification, clubbing people on the street, capturing people on the street, denying them their civil rights. This ball game is getting rough, and when you play this rough, you invite a rough reaction. And I do think a rough reaction is about to happen, and it's going to show up in places people don't expect. It's going to happen at the ground level. They had an interview on CNN, of course it's CNN, of Republicans who said, I've been a Republican for 15 years. I voted for Trump, would never vote for him again, ever, ever. And I'm not voting the Republican Party. I'm going to vote straight Democrat. 5 or 6 Republicans saying this. 4 of them were women, 2 of them were men. And this is what's happening. And I run into people all the time. The fear of the Trump supporters is growing too. The uncertainty that he can pull out of this one like he did in 16. So this ball game is being played in a very, very shaky ground, and the support is shaking underneath the feet of poor Donald Trump. I want to say thank you for watching. I want you to subscribe to The Edge, and thank you so much again. Good luck. Have a great day.